All right, everyone. Welcome back to the 411 on 778. I'm your host, Nate Spohr. On this episode, I sit down with Vinny Ceraso, and he is the Director of Addiction Services. Never met Vinny before the tragic events at the Chiefs Parade. I did get to sit down and talk with him. We had a really good conversation, and his job is to help those with problems, whether they're mental health, drug addiction, any problems that veterans are having. He wears a lot of hats. The services that are rendered by the International to all of us members and our families for free is phenomenal. And he does really good work. I know of a few people that have used this service, and it has worked wonders for them and completely changed their lives. So, man, I know there's people out there listening that might be suffering with something, anxiety, mental health of some sort, addiction, whether it be alcohol, drugs, anything like that. Help is out there, and this help is free. His help is free. Please do not struggle in silence. Get the help that you deserve. So use this great free benefit that's provided by our union. So if you're needing that help, there's several different ways to get it. Vinny mentions it in the podcast, but the International's website, goiam.org, under the resources tab, you can go on there to get through all the EAP, veterans help, stuff like that. As far as phone numbers, there is the EAP National Hotline, which is 301-355-0735, or there's Vinny's phone number, and it is 888-250-4IAM. So that's 4426. So once again, that's 888-250-4426. So with that being said, here is Vinny Ceraso. All right, everyone, I'm here with Vinny Ceraso from the Grand Lodge. All right, so he is here to talk about some of the free benefits that are offered to our members that maybe you don't know about. Obviously, with the tragedy happening at the Chiefs Parade, it's come up right now. He's here for counseling for that, but there's also counseling outside of that. Obviously, tragedies aren't on a massive level. They can be just personal. So he is here to discuss those benefits that are available to us IAM members. So welcome to the podcast, Vinny, and nice to have you.
Thanks, Nate. Great to be here, my friend. I'm here. I run the critical incident response team for the International, and I'm here with two other people that are critical incident qualified to run our process for the members that may have been affected through this tragedy this week. What we do is, again, it's kind of intense training, but we have a certain process that we run our members through, and they come out better on the other side. It's a series of questions and answers and things like that, but it's I promise you, you'll feel better when you're done. That's what I'm doing here this week. What I do every day, basically, I'm with the Members Assistance Department. I'm the assistant director of the department. We manage 6 different units. And I can't reiterate this enough, but every one of our units is brought to you by the Grand Lodge, the union, the International, so to speak. And if you're paying union dues to the Machinist Union, you are eligible for these benefits, and your family members are eligible for these benefits. And the first one I'll start off with, it's my forte, and I do want to go back and tell a little bit about myself. I'm a member of Local Lodge 1776 out of Philadelphia. I come out of the airlines. I was initiated into the Machinist Union in 1993, and I'm a very proud member. The unit that I'd like to start talking about is the Addiction Services Unit. I run that personally. I've been sober for over 37 years, and I spent the last 31 years roughly helping people with addiction issues. And now I get to do it full time for the Grand Lodge. And I've been doing it full time for the Grand Lodge since 2018. But with the addiction services, we basically, you call me, and these postcards are distributed all over the country, and we hope to get these out on company bulletin boards. We could spread them throughout the local, but we know only 1 or 2% of the dues-paying members actually come to the meetings. That's no secret, but we know they all go to work. So we want these two things posted on our union bulletin boards at work if you have them. The addiction services, you call me, everything is confidential. I'll do an assessment over the phone, talk to you about your issues, get some information from you that I need, and I could basically have you in treatment in 24 hours or less. I help you with your FMLA paperwork. I help you with your short-term disability. And the reason I take care of all that with the treatment center, whatever one we choose, is because I want you to focus solely on your addiction treatment and yourself, because you're there for a reason. And I don't want you worrying about FMLA or short-term disability while you're in treatment. I want you to worry about your treatment. We'll take care of everything else. Generally speaking, the treatment centers I work with are the best treatment centers in the country. They're in network, which is very important. And they basically guarantee me 30 days of treatment, which is terrific because, a month is probably minimum what you need to build a good foundation for your recovery. I handle, updates and return to duty letters and things like that too. So you really don't have to do anything but let me handle all this stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's a full service. It's
a full service, definitely, from when you walk in the door to when you walk out. We handle aftercare. We do everything, so you don't have to worry about doing it yourself. Basically, another unit that we have is the EAP unit, the Employee Assistance Program. What that is we help people with other issues. Other than, we handle drug and alcohol issues too, but we mainly focus on mental health issues like anxiety, depression, things like that. We could help you with marriage counseling. We could help you with, healthcare concerns, marital and family problems, stress, whether the stress issues are occupational, economic, whatever it is, we can help you with that. And we do that through getting you a mental health professional to talk to. And again, you call me or you call this 301 number that we have on these postings, and a doctor picks up the 301 number. I'll pick up the 888 number. And basically, we do an evaluation. We see what you need, what you're suffering from, what you're going through, so to speak. And then we get you the help that you need, which is more than likely a mental health professional, a master's level mental health professional to speak to that's in your network for your insurance. Another unit that we handle, and again, I can't emphasize this enough, these are free services for the union members and their families. You call us, there's no charge. This is what we're paid to do. We do the work. We get you all these services basically. But another unit we have is the disaster relief services. Disaster relief fund is basically funded a few cents per month out of your union dues goes toward this fund. And if you suffer a catastrophe, an act of God, so to speak, tornadoes blowing through the Midwest, whatever, your house is damaged, you can apply to this fund and we'll, if it meets all the criteria, we'll approve it and write you a check. Now, you're not going to get rich off the checks, but again, we want you to see where your union dues is going. So we've taken care of a lot of people. We approved a lot of applications for the fires in Maui, for the wildfires in California, tornadoes that blow through the Midwest. We're constantly approving applications for those acts of God. So that's a great unit. We also manage a retirees unit. And again, this is available to all retirees. The director of the department usually handles all that, but that's just one of the units that we handle. And you could look at all of the services that are provided if you go on to the international website, the Grand Lodge website, which is goiam.org. goiam.org. And you could look at all the departments, and you could come to the retirees/members assistance department and look at all we have to offer. We manage 6 different units. We actually manage a veteran services department, which if you're a veteran, we will help you file a claim. I sat through a week of training that a brother in our department handles. Two brothers in our department handle all the veteran services. And I sat through a week of training, and I promise you, our union people, the 2 brothers that run the veteran services unit, they know more than the VA lawyers, I promise you. Since its inception, not quite 2 years, our department, our unit, our veteran services unit has gotten well over $1 million in back claims for veterans. Now, it's not a secret that the Machinists Union has between 35,000 and 40,000 veterans in our ranks, paying union dues right now. Out of all the members that we have, about 35,000 to 40,000 are veterans. A lot of them are combat veterans. And we help you with claims. We help you if you are disabled in any kind of way. We help you file disability claims because you can get a real runaround from the Veterans Administration on claims. I mean, it's almost like a definite denial when you apply. But when we help you with it, we're extremely successful in getting you the benefits that you need. Veteran Services is an incredible asset to the Members Assistance Department. I can't emphasize enough, these are free services for the member and the family.
Yeah, well, first off, backtracking here, congratulations on your sobriety. That's amazing, and congratulations on that. I'm sure you work hard on it every day.
Thank you.
We also, people might always, I've heard people ask, what can the union do for me? I mean, this is a huge thing that the union is able to do for you, whether you're a veteran or you do need the assistance for drug and alcohol addiction, any mental health stuff. So I know mental health is a big thing going around right now. You said you've been doing this since '93?
Yeah, about 31 years. I've been a union member since 1993. Actually, I started paying union dues 43 years ago when I was 16 in growing up in Philadelphia with a part-time job at a supermarket, bagging and restocking shelves. Everybody was in the union. So my personal union history goes back 43 years. I've been around in this union for about 30 years, roughly, or so. But I've been doing this work for at least 31 or so. Believe me, we handle a lot of cases. If you think you're suffering from a mental health issue, you are not alone. We probably, between members and families, we probably do 80 cases a month of people needing mental health assistance.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Yeah, I believe it. Like I said, there's a major uptick in mental health, everything, anxiety, PTSD, stuff like that. And I really think there's been a large upping in that in the last 10, 15 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so statistically then, what is the success rate of us helping people?
Well, let's take addiction services. I personally run that unit, and I follow up with people after they get out of treatment. Now, there's a lot of people that I assist, but so I can only follow up until 1 year. Then the list gets way too big. At the 1 year point, we have a rate of relapse of about 7%.
Wow.
Which is nothing. The national average is over 70%.
Jeez.
So if you look at Well, I have something wrong with me and I need an operation. Well, are you going to go to a doctor with a 93% success rate or a 30% success rate? The answer is you're going to go to a guy that has a 93% success rate. Now, again, that doesn't mean that people don't relapse. People do relapse. Our members do relapse, but not at a high rate, at a very low rate. Why is that? Because I'm very specific about the treatment centers that I choose for our members to go to. Number one, they're not all alike. You can't bang a square peg into a round hole. Let's take a combat veteran who has, say, a substance abuse issue. It's safe to say, because they're a combat veteran, they have trauma in their background. And they're using these substances because they can't cope with whatever they saw over there. And again, pretty normal. I put them in a treatment center that focuses not just on addiction, but trauma issues. I have certain programs that are military-based programs and do incredible work with PTSD and trauma. Now, again, you're laying the foundation for the PTSD and trauma work. There's more work to be done after treatment, but your chances of success when you get out of treatment skyrocket when you go to the right facility who can treat you for not just the addiction. I always say anybody can treat you for the addiction. Can they treat you for your underlying issues that may have brought on your addiction? And the answer is you can't bang a square peg into a round hole. They're not all alike. You can look at an ER. You can go to any ER in the country with a broken arm. They're going to x-ray it, reset it, cast it, and probably even bill you damn near the same amount of money. But you can't go to a treatment center if you have, let's say you're a first responder and you have trauma issues, which is very common, or a combat veteran, or a woman who has faced some sort of, or gone through some sort of sexual trauma or violence. You can't just put them in the treatment center down the street. You have to place them in a treatment center that's best for them. And I handpick treatment centers all over the country that focus not just on the addiction, but they focus on why you have the addiction. And if I know you're a combat veteran, I could whittle down the choices pretty quickly, looking at your insurance, looking at the issues that you have, looking at the addiction that you have. I can come up with a couple of treatment centers that will be great for you. So that, again, the success rate is just incredible. It's the fail rate is around 7% in the first 1 year. If you go out 3 years, and again, I don't go out 3 years, on a national average, the numbers are very high, but I can only look at the machinists and whoever I help for the first year, because the list just gets too unruly to continue to follow up with hundreds of people every other month. So in that first year, you're looking at about a 7% relapse rate, which is extremely low.
Right. That sounds phenomenal. Vinny, I thank you for your time. This is great information to have that, I'll be honest, I didn't know about until today. It takes a tragedy like this, unfortunately, to realize what we do have. And it's good to know that we do have this available to us for free for us and our families in our union. So I urge anybody, if you're listening to this, and like I said, it's not just for the parade tragedy. This is all sort of mental health, and I know we have a ton of veterans. I know a lot of veterans here, and maybe you need some help. And I really do hope that they reach out to you. Sounds like you do an amazing job, Vinny, and I really appreciate your time today, and I appreciate all the work you do. Thank you.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.
All right.